Welcome back, everybody. We're here for our second Dota 2 show match of the night. That's right, we're not doing one, we're doing two show matches for you. A little bit of fun planned for you a little bit later as well. But it's Team FY versus Team Sexy. Team Sexy, the team who actually won our last game pretty convincingly. And, well, that's just the world of the sexy world. And let's jump ourselves into the game because we want to start right now. And Sexy Bamboo, I think, just messaged me saying he's really annoyed. His name is already taken over at joindota.com. You can register your name if you are already registered on the GameSports accounts. Don't worry, your username is actually carried across from that. But if you want to register your name, head over to joindota.com, enter your username, enter your email, and you can save your name for when we do finally get ourselves out of beta, which will hopefully only be a couple of weeks away. Hopefully. I pray to the Dota gods that one day we will be delivered a forum and a live stream page and a news system which doesn't require icons. Mwah! It shall be a beautiful day. All right, so let's jump ourselves into the fun world of Dota 2. Of course, we will be repeating a couple of things that were said during our last broadcast, as well as a couple from the other broadcast before, because not everybody actually checks out every single VOD of the Dota 2 show matches. I highly suggest you do. We do actually teach you basically just the basics of Dota. If you're new to it from HON or from LoL, these shoutcasts are designed for you. They're fun show matches. They are fun show matches. Competitive scene-wise, that's when we'll kick it up a notch. And then we highly recommend you watch these show matches because you're going to need that basic information to actually understand what's going on. And it's a big, important thing coming into this world of Dota 2, just to actually understand what goes on. Like, I watch League of Legends, and I can understand the core concepts of it. But understanding what each hero is doing during a big team fight without never playing that hero before, that's a really, really hard thing to ask anybody to actually do. So as every single cast goes, you'll find yourself, your knowledge will actually increase. Obviously, my knowledge increases with every single cast I do as well. I don't know it all. That's why I bring on people like Synderen or people like Slash. My big shout out to them, my big co-commentators. And they give us all those big intricate stat details or the strats which are coming out, the way the mechanics actually function, that actually affect the way the game is played. It's things like that just, you learn them over time and you realize that actually all came down to one ward. Without that one ward placement in that exact spot, then that team fight would have never have actually happened just like it did. So that's a big, big thing. So let's actually put our game sound back up again, so everybody can actually hear that. We don't want to make it too loud or else then you actually can't hear anything I actually say. But let's have a look at our ban. So Ninestalk, we saw him in the last game. He has been banned out. Just to also to reiterate too, on the Radiant side, they actually haven't swapped sides at all. It is Team Sexy and FY will be on the Dire. They actually don't have their names in here just yet. There's still a lot of things being created here in the world of Dota 2. This game is still in beta, obviously, but all of us are chomping at the bit, and believe me, like, I made that bit, like, almost dissolve, and it's supposed to be pure, like, steel. I was chomping at it pretty hard, man, just to get these broadcasts coming out. So a lot of it's still in the works. So they don't share their team names or their flags or whatever up there on the top yet, but you can still see the names of the players. So we see a couple of familiar faces: Dutch Freak, Mooger as well, and Sexy Bamboo, known very, very well through the Dota 1 scene. Nincompoop actually joining us here on Team Y or TY, FY. Oh god, I remember the name at one point. On the Dire team, he's actually he's the manager of the GG Net squad. The GG Net squad, which kind of doesn't exist anymore, is kind of like gone into the world of Kurokai plus 4 or whatever actually happens with that. So yeah, actually missing for this. The GG Net squad very, 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 very sorely missed throughout the entire of the European scene. A lot of teams actually have dissolved in the European scene. It's been very, very unstable here in Europe as far as the world of Dota goes. But while Dota 2 is coming up very, very soon, that's going to change up a lot. A lot of teams really want to show themselves. And if you do want to show yourself too, get in contact with me. And if you have your team, which is all inside the beta, please let me know. And we'll see if we can actually give you a show match as well. So you can actually say to the world too, my team exists! Look at me! Look at me! Please, let us know about that. All right, let's check out our picks. I love it. The Prophet's here. The Prophet's here. The Prophet at the moment is one of the most overpowered heroes in the world of Dota. He has an ability called Sprout. Yeah, brings trees up, can lock anybody in place. Doesn't actually stun you. It just basically puts a wall of trees around you. Next one is actually the Call of Nature. You can turn your trees, be it from the Sprout or just normal trees standing on the side of the lanes or anywhere. You can convert them into treants. And that's right, I'm actually going to say that properly from now on, and the Treants can then push the lanes or help farm or do whatever you want to. Second ability is actually known as teleportation. You can move yourself anywhere around the map. The more you level it up, the lower the cooldown, with the cooldown being on 20 seconds once you hit level 4. So basically you can TP anywhere on the map, land down your sprout, hold a hero in place, attack him for a little bit, and then you can just basically TP again to jump in front of him again. Really, really great as far as chasing goes, as well as making sure he's in position when the fights actually start. Vengeful Spirit's coming back again, so VS with the magic missile stun, good initial stun, good damage, as well as basically level 1 guaranteed stun. Has the Howl of Terror, which basically fires off a little bit of damage is actually attached to that Howl of Terror, but dropping the armor is the more important thing for that. Command Aura is also there. We'll stack up the damage. I think I went through the stats before, but we can check them out later. So basically increases the amount of damage for everybody around her when that's actually there. So you can see things that's known as like an aura stack. So you increase the aura. So if you actually add Drow Ranger with a true shot aura, SF with the presence of the Dark Lord, which can drop down the armor. There's all these auras which you can basically stack on top of each other, which gives you all the advantage when the team fights actually happen, if you fight with all those auras in one place. And then VS's last ability swap, so we'll trade places with any unit on the map. Windrunner comes up here from the Dire, great positioning play. We see a Shackle Shot to hold basically a lot of heroes in place. Very low cooldown on that Shackle Shot as well, which means you can generally pop it off twice during the team fights. Same with the Power Shot ability, lines up in a direction and then just basically shoots. There is a 1 second casting time on that though, so it does require you generally to actually team it up with the Shackle Shot to start it off with, and then the Power Shot to go over the top to make sure you actually hit those Power Shots properly. Windrun ability increases your evasion as well as movement speed, which lets you escape or chase. And then last ability from Windrunner is known as Focus Fire. Not really an ability we see a hell of a lot, not to the later on parts of the game, but basically increases your attack speed by, I think it's like 150, 200 or something like that. It's pretty nuts. But it's a good way to bring down towers fast if you're very, very stretched for time, or if a hero's locked in place and you just need to basically damage him down really, really fast. You pop that off and you can do the rest. We jump ourselves through the bands as well, so Chan Doombringer, CM, Razor taken out, Morphling, Void, Slardar, as well as Night Stalker taken out. So Radiant actually taking out Night Stalker and Slardar, two aggressive heroes. They like to go on the ganking spree, that's why they have been removed. Faceless Void, a big anti carry, generally picked up if Anti-Mage is actually on the field, because you can hold Anti-Mage in place with this big Chronosphere. Basically stops all time and space by himself. He can move around in there and basically beat the living crap out of anybody who's caught in there. Can be rather dangerous though if you do trap your own teammates in there. Morphling as well being removed. Good hero for push, good hero for carry, and a good late game all-rounder. Let's look through our Radiant side right now. So we've actually got Lich picked up by the Sentinel side. So we saw Lich in our last game, able to actually sacrifice. He was actually traded off to head up towards that top lane. They realized the lane was pushing too much. They're getting ganked because they're having to go past the river. And it's basically the line where you don't want to cross. It is the river that divides the entire world of Dota. You can even look right here on the map, right down there. That is not the river. You do not cross that unless you have vision. I'm talking wards, I'm talking safety with heroes. That's the only reason why you would cross that river. That's why those T1 towers are so critical to actually bring down. It gives you the confidence to actually go across the river. So Lich's sacrifice holds the creeps back and basically makes life a lot easier. Converts that sacrifice into frost or into mana, and then can use it for the frost. Also has the frost armor, an ability which I didn't talk about much during the last match, and mainly because frost armor is not used as well. It's the same kind of thing as like Focus Fire, not really used at the very, very end of the game, because it's really not as important. It's great to actually boost up your lane and increase the armor of whoever you want to cast it on. But it gets to the point where it's not, well, the mana cost is not that much, but you don't want to waste the level on it when you can put it onto things like your ultimate, or the sacrifice, or your frost, things like that take up more priority. So that is Lich, because Lich's ultimate as well, we've seen that bouncing around, is one of the biggest and best ultimates of the entire game, especially if you get it off right. Ancient Apparition also, he is into the pool. Ancient Apparition, I'll talk about him after we actually get him, because we'll jump through very, very quickly the rest of the heroes. Earthshaker comes up. Earthshaker, Fissure, able to make a rock wall wherever he wants to. It basically shoots out from anywhere he decides. Can block heroes in. Good for stunning as well as a little bit of damage harassment if you want to use it that way. Soul Ring, great for Earthshaker, converts his life into mana. It can keep him popping these fissures off instead of actually having to pop off Clarity Potions consumables. Mirana's also Earthshaker should finish him as well. Small Totem Stun can actually get himself a little bit of a buff on that. That is his third ability. And then the ultimate Echo Slam. The more units there are around, the more damage, as well as the wider the range of the damage actually done. We'll go on any unit that is not ethereal. So Big ES ulti is a great counter to a big team fight push, and he's going to have a lot of fun because all Prophet's treants, they actually do stack his ultimate. They're not ethereal units, they do actually count. So yeah, he's going to have a good time with him. Mirana, great hero to actually watch as far as initiation goes. She's got herself what is basically her best ability in my mind. It is the arrow. So the longer the arrow flies, if it hits, the longer the duration of the flight, the longer the duration of the stun. Maximum 5 seconds. Also deals a crap load of damage, deals more damage the longer the flight. And she can jump back in there pretty fast with the leap ability. So it brings herself in close, or can use it to escape. But most of the time she likes to use it to actually engage, so it can leap. It's in whatever direction she's facing. So you pop the leap, and then you'll go that direction, and then you starfall. So basically creates a starfall of all units around you. There's also always one little starfall that comes dropping down at the very, very end. You hope it's going to hit that last hit on the hero. Hello, Dazzle! Dazzle comes up as our last pick here for the Radiant. But yes, Amarana's ultimate as well. Pops that off. There's a 2-second fade time, but it invises your entire team for actually popping that off. Dazzle being our last pickup, he is the one with the massively toothy grin and mohawk. The game is actually all ready to actually start with that last pick going, but I'm thinking this thing's actually... Oh, there we go. We are actually in. So we'll check out. Here we go. Dazzle. Here he is. Big man with a mohawk. That's one hell of a mohawk too. So the first one is the Poison Touch. So a lot of people actually ignore the Poison Touch. It's not the best thing to actually ignore because he's great for harassment to do so. A lot of people use heroes like Venomancer to harass on the lanes because they've got their standard harassment attack that can come out from the Venomancer, as well as the Venomous Scale, so it's good initiation. Poison Touch does something very, very similar, except it's just single target focused, and you've got to keep popping off. So it does actually cost a little bit of mana to actually do so, but it's good harassment, good initiation. But he's known mainly for the ability to actually keep people alive. So Shallow Grave being his second ability, you pop that off on a hero, and they actually don't die for 5 seconds. The more you pop it off, the higher you actually skill, the lower the cooldown, and the lower the mana cost. And that's a big, big important thing. Pop off those Shallow Graves. So for him, actually just thinking they have no big hard carry. They've got to win this pretty fast, thinking about this. Any of these heroes right now is actually pretty squishy. Iran's actually going to have to go into the role here of like, he's a mid-game carry. We'll actually talk about our draft in just a moment. But that Shallow Grave is going to keep people alive. So cast it off, 5 seconds, you can't die. Shadow Wave actually heals anything and actually it bounces over, as well as damaging enemy creeps or enemy heroes if they're also nearby it. And then the last one is Weave. So it actually changes. So it increases the allies' armor while decreasing everybody else's armor by 1 for every second. Increases the range, increases the duration as you actually level it up, which is pretty freaking awesome when it comes to big team fights. And that's going to be a big thing for her to actually cast off before Earthshaker actually jumps in. You want to actually give it time to actually affect. So the longer the battle goes, the harder it will be for the Radiant, the die to actually kill off the Radiant, because they'll basically be stealing all of the armor. And that is the hardest thing. So let's actually just check out our draft right now. We'll go through Vengeful Spirit and Tidehunter in just a moment, as well as Spectra. They were our last ones. Look at Windrunner already harassing Dazzle back. So much harassment straight out of the cuff. Dazzle with only 500 HP points. Windrunner doesn't have that much himself. And they both are forced to actually start munching on their tangos. So basically consume a tree and get yourself continuous regeneration. Hello, ES Fissure starting this off. Lich already puts the Frost out, Nincompoop playing as that Tidehunter. Wants to run away, and Spectre just comes in, throws down that dagger. He can now basically phase over anything, walk through trees, walk up and down hills, and also does a little bit of slow there to Mirana. Spectre at the moment, I think, is the biggest hero here for the Dire. The ability to actually get farm up on top of him, to actually get some kills as well. Hello, Lich. Frost again. Magic Missile stun sheet on Dutch Freak. Then lands off a Fissure, so a lot of harassment already been done. A lot of mana already been used. You can actually see the bars right here. So there's a big health bar in the red, and then the blue below is how much mana they've actually got. And that's why we see these clarity potions now popping off by Vengeful Spirit as well as Tidehunter. They realize their mana pool is not that big, especially once they pop off their abilities twice. They're basically out of mana. Well, hello, Dazzle on the bottom lane. He actually gets first blood in that bottom lane. Considering how aggressive they were being before, that shouldn't have really come as much of a surprise. Mid lane is actually Sexy Bamboo, playing as the Ancient Apparition. Going up against Nature's Prof, and then, of course, that tri-lane up on the top. But Spectra, as I was saying, he's actually the big agi carry. Big agi carry, you get more fun on him. He basically gets unstoppable. There's a couple of heroes in the world of Dota that you can basically say their power gets capped at a certain point. Like they just get to that point where they're not really going to become much stronger and not just save their money to actually buy back into the game. Where Spectra at this point, doesn't really cap. She gets stronger and stronger as the game goes, can stay in the lanes to actually farm, like we've seen the dagger before, but what makes her such a massive, massive carry is her ability to actually haunt. This is her ultimate ability, and will create an illusion of herself next to every single hero. No matter where they are, it will actually create an illusion next to them anywhere on the map. But the coolest thing about it is you can jump to any of these illusions as a Spectra. So you pop off the haunt, and then you use reality. So you can just click on whatever illusion's there. So for instance, she popped off haunt now, one would appear next to Dutch Freak, you click reality on that illusion, and then you'd be straight smack bang right next to Dutch Freak. The reason why this is powerful as well is because it actually works with a couple of her other abilities, Desolate being one of them. So it's bonus damage, but it does even more bonus damage when they're by themselves. So if one hero does get caught out, then that's when you level up Desolate and you get that bonus damage. So you catch people out by themselves, you get the cheap and easy kills, and you're feeling hunky-dory. And if you ever feel like you've gone too far in over your head, that's when Dispersion actually kicks in. Oh, hang on, Dazzle's still back at base again, so looks like he's taking a little bit too much damage. He just walked all the way back to base. But yeah, Spectre actually has Dispersion. So Dispersion actually reflects the damage. So you see it there, 10, 14, 18, and 22%. So it's actually a bit of a problem when you actually cast abilities on Spectra to actually kill him. All the damage is reflected to your team. So your team will actually take a fair chunk of damage at the same time. And if you don't get that kill, then he'll just jump back out. If he's got a heart, we'll just heal himself back up. And Vengeful Spirit's going to be a big one for that one. The ability to actually swap VS after he's taken that damage, get himself out of trouble, heal up with that heart, which will be a late tier 3 item. And then you're looking pretty hunky-dory to jump straight back into that fight. There's an interesting thing, though, with the composition of the lineup tree from both the teams. As far as the Dire actually goes, they've actually got some pretty good ganking potential. I'm looking through Windrunner as well as Vengeful Spirit, as well as the Haunt support that can come in from Spectra, but they've got good pushing power from Prophet, so Prophet able to push down those lanes anywhere he wants to. That TP I was talking about, he can jump anywhere he wants to on the map. As long as it's being revealed, he can actually jump there, and then just create an army and push down a tower if he so desires to actually do so. It's like Windrunner taking a little bit of damage in that bottom lane, so is Shadow Priest. These guys won't stop going hammer and tongs at each other. But they've got pushing power, they've got gank ability, and they've got abilities to actually stop the team fight as well. And a lot of that comes out from Nincompoop, making sure he can actually get up towards that Ravage. Howl of Terror, flying over the tree. So actually spots Lich down there on the side. So the dagger actually flies as well as the magic missile, as well as Gush. So then double negative armor, and it's Prophet who actually, there's that TP I was talking about, jumps up towards the top, pops the Sprout, and Dutch Freak will try and hold him in position. Nincompoop trying to actually get in front, and Dutch Freak actually gets caught in his own creep wave, trying to squeeze the gap between, oh, hello, AA ulti, flies in there. It's only going to just niggle on Spectra, but he'll actually buy up a Ring of Hell, so it'll be fine. You can buy that from this side shop. A little side guy on here. There's selective items you can actually get. You can't buy consumables from that. It just gives you items. It lets you actually complete a lot of items without actually having to go back. That is two quick kills up there on that top lane. But yes, Dire side, they actually have a good compilation of a lot of abilities. While you look towards the Radiant side, and we've actually got pretty good team fight potential. As long as they can shut down Nincompoop, then that should be good. You got looking at the initiation that can come out from Mirana, ES with his ultimate, Lich with his ultimate. If they're held in a close, tight space, then that can work perfectly. Ancient Apparition as well. He's one here we actually haven't looked at, and we're going to look at him right now as they're heading up towards the Vengeful Spirit. Visual started, the Cold Feet actually hasn't popped off, he doesn't need to. He's actually sitting inside an Invis route, and now he wants to go, ult, he pops on Nincompoop, arrow will fly, and Nincompoop walks into it. Will actually shatter him as well. Sexy Bamboo actually uses his standard attack to finish it off. Now there's actually a great arrow out there from Muga, realising if he popped it off around here, there was no vision, and it flew straight in through the trees. And really, Nincompoop wouldn't have even seen that coming, so there was no way that he could have actually dodged that arrow, and it was just unlucky for him that he walked into it. Earn charge now on Prophet, because we did see that last game as well, earn charges. He gets more of those with every kill he's involved with. So it's going to be an aggressive Prophet, TPing around. Already level 3 here on the teleportation, as well as 1 on the Sprout. So he can jump to anywhere on the map if they want to initiate, or if support is actually required. It's like Muga took a little bit of damage right now too. Spectra, wow, that's one big black pool. It's like a squid head front on the top lane, but it will actually just be Villa. So that Spectra dagger would have been indecision, of course. That once that Spectra dagger actually hits a unit, that shadow will actually follow them wherever they go. So if they run up and down, they will cover the entire ground in that black substance. Meanwhile, back in the middle lane, Ancient Apparition ulti. That should be enough to kill. Yeah, it is. Bamboo is going to be in trouble though. Anchor Smash doesn't actually have it. Sexy Bamboo's a Nincompoop, so he shouldn't be able to get that last kill. Need that little bit of extra damage, and Muga actually TPs in for help. Meanwhile, back in the bottom lane, Dazzle's up to almost level 7. Windrun's actually sitting on exactly the same. We'll check out their CS scores in just a moment to see who is actually winning that bottom fight. Even though we did see that first blood go to Dazzle. So that's giving him that extra 200 gold. But he's staying pretty close towards that tower. And this is why, because Ancient Apparition is going to come in. There goes that Cold Feet. Poison Touch as well, slowing Coldfire down. And he gets locked in place. That's that Cold Feet. An ability from the Ancient Apparition. Prophet see just bouncing around the map. It's anything. There's 16 bounces he can actually do with that. But it only hits what you can actually see. But Ancient Apparition, that Cold Feet ability. You trigger that off on a hero. And if they don't move out of the area of effect... so basically a normal circle around where you'd actually cast it off. If you don't move out of that, you get locked in Frostcone. Simple as that. Simple as that. So it just doesn't do any damage though, but it'll lock you in place long enough. And the Ice Vortex as well actually amplifies the damage you take. So if we actually have multiple abilities, so if I'm looking at Lich's ultimate, if I'm looking at Earthshaker's ultimate, you combine the two of those together with Ancient Apparition's ability, so that Ice Vortex, then you're looking at a crap load of damage coming the way of the Dire. And then you've also got to actually combine it with the AA Ultimate. AA Ultimate, as we can actually just read up right now. So the Frostbite duration, the damage, hit points for the skills, but it also has a possibility of... the point I'm looking for is what's known as the Shatter. We're going to watch the top lane right now, and actually the AA ulti can't trigger it probably because Via's actually got a good stun time. He's still got the Cold Feet on Spectra, so Spectra won't actually escape right now. We will see Lich die. Starfall goes. Spectra wants to be part of this. We've still got Titan up here, but he's not level 6 just yet, so there's no Ravage. And Ancient Apparition actually gets the last hit there on the Vengeful Spirit, who's retreating back out again. Nincompoop will try and fight here, but with Muga and Sexy Bamboo both attacking him, there's no way they can get out. It's a double kill. Double kill for Muga. And Sexy Bamboo takes 1, so 3 down. Earthshaker actually a little bit of trouble. Spectra wants it. Spectra's going to dive it and throws the dagger and gets it. So needs to retreat out at this point. He's going to run right into Sexy Bamboo and all his friends, which is just himself. There's that Cold Feet animation pop off. AA ulti will actually hit this one. Arrow, it actually is a little bit too early, and the range was actually quite right for a Prophet going to TP in for support. And decides to actually cancel the anchor. Sexy Bamboo did actually get close enough. There's a standard boots of speed, extra 55 movement speed, able to actually let him keep that chase going. Prophet now thinking about TPing towards the bottom lane, actually misclicking, I think, on that TP. He's going to TP himself into a whole bunch of trees. He can get himself at that pretty fast. Shackle shot, nice here on Coldfire. Teamed up here with Prophet. The Shallow Grave and the TP. The Shallow Grave will not last as long as the TP scroll, or maybe it does. Whoa, that was close. Very, very close here from our Dazzle on the Radiant side. A Shallow Grave ability. There was no stun left. Top lane in the meantime. ES actually pops off the ultimate. Arrow flies up. And ES actually a little bit over his head. So the dagger flies down and realizes he can't fight this one. In the meantime, Ancient Apparition actually picks off the Windrunner on the bottom lane. So the damage was done. It's like Mirana was there to actually help out. But Mirana was also there to die in that top lane. Spectra diving past the tier 1 tower. Dagger flies out. So Dust Freak actually gets caught in by his own creep. Prophet comes in to help out. But they still have the vision on him and they bring him down. And this should spell the death of the tier 1 tower on the top lane.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Prophet's back up here on that top. They're going to look for the initiator. Oh, this is going to be too easy. Dazzle does have that Shallow Grave back up again now. So he can pop it once he realizes he's in a lot of trouble. Prophet's got his trends up around the rear end. Now Dazzle should be giving a little bit of room to move here, so maybe they've just thought, you know what, we can't kill him, so let's just leave him be. We'll pick up an illusion room, we'll gank somebody else up. Sexy Bamboo actually throws the ultimate up towards the top lane. It's more of a scout than anything else. The ulti actually passes over the top of these heroes, that's why I actually see them getting shattered up. You need something to actually really trigger that shadow, so you got to do the damage after it. So it's continuous damage over time for anything that goes over. Hello, bottom lane, Prophet. Oh, Prophet's stuck! He needs to convert the trees! There we go. Now he can move. The funny thing, I don't think Lucky realized he did it. He's cold feet up, and Sexy Bamboo doesn't have his ultimate right now. He used that for scouting, and Lich will want to come in here. Frost on Coldfire, but Bamboo's going to keep up, and there we go again. Throwing down the cold, that's that Ice Vortex I was telling you about. Actually slows the area as well, but amplifies the damage. Or the magical damage, I believe. And there goes that AA ulti flying up. It's looking for that one last hit. Prophet was able to actually TP himself back to base in time. It was the Prophet he was looking for. In the meantime, a smoke and mirrors. The top lane's being pushed out, so it's all about the trade. Foul gank on bottom means a tier 1 tower on the top. Spectre, though, is actually on that middle lane, so he's still keeping that pressure up on the mid. Tier 1 tower's not dead just yet, so support might come in. We do have Brown just hanging back past the tower, but there is not going to be support to come in. Nincompoop can't do it by himself. He's also very, very thin on items. 13 minutes in. Tyler knows very, very little. Hello, Poison Touch here on the Spectra. Vengeful Spirit is here, though. Howler Terror is going to let that one know. It's like, hang on, this is not something I want to be involved in. Lich, a long way down on this tower at the moment. Aeoldi's going to help trigger this. If they get this right, Lich Ulti's going to bounce. Aeoldi's going to hit as well. Great ultimate trigger. That will easily kill off Lucky, but Evil is near, wants to make short of it. In fact, he does do so. Windrunner gets a good shackle shot, but they're going to have to come in range of the tower to get this power shot. Maybe not. Able to actually do it, and Sexy Bamboo, the man who actually threw the AA ultimate, comes down towards that bottom lane. Top lane's also grouping up. Nincompoop, first one in, arrow flies, good fish. There's a lot of damage towards the Vengeful Spirit. Starfall from Muga. The arrow didn't actually hit, but it's able to get the last hit there on the Tidehunter. And Muga actually using that leap to initiate means he doesn't have it to actually escape here from the Spectra, who can chase him anyway. You see him just going up and down these hills with all that greatest of ease. That's that Spectral Dagger, and the Prophet actually steals the kill. Ancient Apparition also fighting himself for kill during that one. Picking off the Vengeful Spirit, and now we'll go towards the mid tower with the support here from Dazzle. TP down towards the bottom lane. Prophet's on the way there, so if you want to take a tier 1 tower in the mid, we'll take a tier 1 tower in the bottom lane. Such an insane ultimate, that Prophet as well. The more bounces it has, the more damage it does, but it only bounces a maximum of 16 times, and it only bounces on units that you can actually see. So that's the catch for it. Also, Prophet actually just changing around there. He had Intel treads up, but actually decided in the end to actually change to Strength treads. Something you can actually do with the treads. Hello, Fissure. Lich. The Easter Frost. Slows down. AA ultimate. Great timing. Great communication coming out here from the Sentinel side. Might be enough to shatter. Prophet actually with that Sprout would have been enough. Dutch tries to get in there fast enough. And the heal will actually keep Lucky alive. Bottom lane setting up. Dazzle's already there. Windrunner. Got to be really careful. Muga will want to pop off an arrow. And Windrunner actually doing the wise thing. And she's just running back normally to the tower. Didn't need to pop off Windrun. Didn't need to actually panic. Top lane support is actually going at the same time. It's all about Prophet as well as Spectra to bring down that tier 1 tower. So once again we're going to see a tower trade. Fortification here from the Dire. Radiant might follow suit in just a moment unless they've already used it. No, they're going to let it go. And tower is actually killed by just the Dire though. Lich actually gets the kill on the bottom tower, so he actually gets the extra Moolat for that. Well, the Radiant side don't want to actually end here. They're going to have to, though. There's that Prophet ultimate, dealing so much damage, and especially to actually combine it. Hello, TP. Oh, this is a big AA ulti if it hits properly. AA ulti is at such a long, long range. Demolishes up the creep wave. Dazzle couldn't get close enough. Prophet will actually try and TP out. In fact, he can actually TP out. There's no stun that's going to come out from the Radiant side with those two heroes chasing. Meanwhile, back on the bottom lane, Spectra's actually running around in the middle of the Radiant side. Fissure making it a little bit harder for VS and Windrunner to actually get through. There was still a gap for them to actually do so. Prophet is actually going Dutch Freak. It's going to be a good arrow, but doesn't actually stop Prophet's last attack. which does bring down Earthshaker. So it was a good attempt. It was a good attempt, but it was not enough. Interesting to see Nincompoop as well. I think she just bought up boots, which have been sent down towards the bottom lane. Boots and more, so that's fair enough to send a courier down. You can actually buy boots from this side shop. A lot of different things you can actually buy, which actually helps you out. Tier 1 tower on the bottom lane. Should be able to brought down pretty easily. Should be able to be brought down pretty easily. There's that AA ulti flying again. It's going to be a big ultimate as well with the range it's actually travelled. Actually misses it. It flies too far. It will fly over the top at least, but Dutch Freak's already caught, and there's a good ultimate by Nincompoop with the tower gone. ES tries to pop off his ultimate. That's not enough in the end. In comes Muga. Starfall will do a lot of damage, and it's a good close range arrow there on the Spectra. Dazzle still trying to keep up. Great shackle shot there by Wildfire, but he was not expecting Evil as near. Tidehunter goes down with the Shadow Priest, who was able to keep on with that track. Frost is about to come back off cooldown here for Lich, so he can pop that off, slowing Coldfire down. 90 HP points. Does another attack, but Coldfire very, very fast there with a wind run. Able to escape. And Sexy Bamboo is going to attempt the ultimate. Popping it hard. It needs to pop it here. Oh, is she going to get it? No! The timing! The timing! Mid's going to get a gank anyway. They're going to get the Vengeful Spirit. Half a second. Half a second for the timing on that ultimate. If it hit, then Coldfire would be dead right now. I apologize for the ear rapage. Cold feeding up, just the range creep. Going to stop that creep from actually pushing a lot. But in the end, it's a bit of a waste of mana there by Sexy Bamboo. Shouldn't be wasting that much. He does have that bottle up, and what are we actually going for? He's actually going for a Euls. Interesting to actually see a Eul Scepter coming up. Not really an item of choice by a lot of teams, unless you feel like you're under the pump, or you just need that quick disable. The Eul Scepter is actually named after the original creator of Dota, Eul. He was actually or Eul. I think it's better to be pronounced Eul. I'll ask him one day. But yeah, it's actually named after him. So it's just a simple item. Doesn't really cost that much to create. Hello, bottom lane. Poison Touch should be able to initiate, and Spectre should now be dead. And there goes that change in armor. And that's that ultimate there from Dazzle. So they're actually swapping the armor, and then a great Lich ultimate bounces up back up to Windrunner. Courier almost jumping into it. Nincompoop's already taken the damage. Cold feed up. He manages to walk away far enough. Coldfire's got to get one hell of a shackle shot off right now. Gets it on the Dazzle. And Evil's near his does come in a little bit closer. But Bamboo now grabbing himself a monster kill. And they'll try and take out this bottom lane. It's really, really hard while Windrunner is pushing them back so hard. Anyway, meanwhile back at the Eul Scepter. It's actually just an ability. You pop it off. And you can go on you can go yourself, any of your allies, or any of your enemy heroes, and we'll just spin the hero or target up in the air. Very, very simple. Just takes you out of the combat for a couple of seconds. Hello, Spectra. Who's he looking for? Is he going mid? Is he going top? I think it's just for top. Yeah. No, he just stays top. Okay. Dutch Freak was actually the one to get back out from that one, so it looks like he must have TP'd back to base. Arrow will fly. Coldfire sees it, though. Yeah, still nice play there by Muga to actually stay in the side of the trees. That way the creep wave wouldn't actually expose it. And wouldn't actually have vision until this point, and if you didn't actually see that coming, then you wouldn't have been able to react as fast. Look at coming out from Prophet. Shadow Blade up for Prophet. If people remember the game I actually played last night with Too Good, it was a game I was about to actually refer to as well back in the previous cast. You can actually use Prophet TP anywhere. And backdooring is completely illegal in the world of Dota. So you actually TP into this point, grab these trees, make them into treants, and then just basically push down the towers. Never really see it coming, and the Shadow Blade, once you pop it, will let you go invis. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, Shackle Shot tries to actually hit, but the Leap able to actually negate majority of the effect. And Coldfire with that Cold Feet on. Realizes it's going to be easy to run back to his team. Top lane, harassment from the AA ulti again. Just going to go here on the creep wave as well as Spectra. Able to actually keep that creep wave being pushed out. Just make Spectra think too, the gank is coming towards him. That ultimate has a pretty low cooldown. You see just there, it's just like another 30 seconds before it's back up again. You can keep spamming, you can keep on top of all of it. Anywhere on the map. It can help push out the lanes. And it's a good counter. There's that Eul Scepter effect, and then triggering it off with the arrow. Great combination coming out here from the Radiant. And Lich actually with a Frost gets the last hit. So Evil is near, you see him running out, he is the one to get the kill. Prophet actually putting a couple of treants up there on the high ground. They can't really farm from that point though. The treants actually are no match for the Centaurs. It's now just going to be a waste because he's going to need them to actually defend this mid. Sexy Bamboo already walking in behind. So there's that amplification he wants. Yule Scepter up, and of course putting that in combination with the cold feet. Lucky cannot get out of range in time. Howl of Terror just makes the Radiant side think twice about going in. But it's also making the Dire think twice about defending this tier 2 tower, which Ancient Apparition finishes off. In the meantime, though, Spectre is on that bottom lane still farming up. Vanguard for him. Not a Radiance just yet. We'll be working towards it, though. Radiance increasing the intact damage. For people in Heroes of New Earth, you know it as a Mock of Brilliance. So it burns everything in the area. Prophet's going to TP down towards the bottom lane now, so we're going to see a push here on the tier 2 tower. Or at least something to make him think it's a push on the tier 2 tower. It's going to be a forced trade, and now here we go, TP support. Bamboo's already here. In fact, we're going to have a second TP come in. Yule Scepter actually starts. Didn't get that cold feet to actually start with, so he's got to do it the old-fashioned way and give Spectre time to actually get himself out. And Lucky actually just sprouting up Sexy Bamboo, trying to actually hold the Ancient Apparition back, which he does do so successfully. And then we see Prophet actually TP back out, possibly going for the top lane. Windrunner is a long, long way from home. He's going to shackle shot. Spectre's going to horn to join this, thinking they can get an easy kill up here on top, and Spectre will actually dagger. The dagger flies through the Lich, so he's actually got that effect, and that Sprout will actually not hold the Spectre back, but the Lich ultimate is going to do horrendous amounts of damage. No, it won't. They do split up pretty nicely. Nickapip's already popped up the Ravage, but Shadow Priest keeping his teammates alive just for now. Dutch Freak, there goes that Shallow Grave, keeping Lich up. He wants to live a little bit longer, but Magic Missile will hold him in place for VS to finish him off, while Dutch Freak then gets gushed up, shackle shotted as well. VS as well as Prophet will attack him, and yes, she gets power shotted down, but it's actually not the thing that gets the last hit. It's actually Prophet's standard attack that gets the last hit. So a lot of damage taken there by the Dire, but it all worked out for the greater good in the end. And the Radiant lose off a couple of heroes, which they did not want to actually have happen. Obviously, no one likes losing a hero. And for people actually as well, yes, Lothar's actually called Shadowblade. Whoa, hello. Ancient Apparition just got popped. I saw that question in the IRC chat. Shadowblade is actually now the new Lothar's. Well, Lothar's is the new Shadowblade, whichever way you actually look at it. Lucky getting harassed right now. Getting slowed down there by the poison. Such an easy harassment for him. Especially considering his mana regen. You got Intel Trace as well as Ring of Basilius. Ultimate Orb, so plus 10 for all attributes. Probably going to turn that into a sheep stick. Used to be known as a Gwinsu. Now it's known as the Scythe of Vice. Hello, Prophet. TP bottom lane. Muga was actually thinking that he was actually coming for him. And just TPs himself back out again. The Prophet in the end goes in towards the mid. It's kind of the crazy thing for the Prophet. You see that animation actually starting up. Because you can see where he's going to TP to. The animation is visible for all. As well as the animation actually goes up around himself. But you can cancel at any time until the spell is actually channeled properly. Until it's actually channeled properly, it doesn't actually go on cooldown. Hey, ulti just hitting there in the middle lane, just trying to keep that pressure on, so they can open up a little bit of an opening on the bottom lane. I think. Shadow Priest with all of his friends, basically replicas of himself. He's a very to himself kind of guy. Sexy Bamboo manages to actually bottle up a haste rune. So we've also discussed in the last two broadcasts the fact you actually you can actually store a rune. Well, dude. Prophet able to get the kill there on Earthshaker. Funny thing, he's just back here. Wasn't his ultimate, so he's just TP back to base. Sexy Bamboo wanting to actually go in towards the mid. Actually, TP, hello. Oh, thanks, man. Got him on the top, on the run back. So tier 2 tower should go down the bottom lane. Prophet's actually coming towards this bottom lane right now. There goes that ultimate from what's his freaking name? Shadow Priest. Converts all the armor into the Radiant side. So Prophet dies down very, very fast, especially in combination with that Lich ultimate. Here comes the AA ultimate, wants to hit on top of Nincompoop. It's just going to miss him. It does trigger there on Windrunner, who now gets put up in the air as well as Cold Feeded in. So should actually get locked in place. Starfall has enough time to actually hit. Spectre's just hanging up on the high ground, just watching it until the dagger finally pops, and she runs back down the trees. VS swapping the Venomancer out of play, and there goes the arrow. Mooga was hoping that was actually going to hit on, not the Venomancer, on the Windrunner. But didn't in the end, so VS taking it for the team. It's always the role for VS. He always has more deaths than he should actually have kills. They should always have those assists. Bottom lane being pushed pretty hard now, especially now we see a Manta style up here for Mirana. Manta style, the ability to actually create 2 images of yourself. Also give you a crap load of extra stats. Just try and bring down this tower. They've got it as well. TP support's coming in straight on the front lines. Who is it going to be? Ashley cancelling the TP. Prophet ulti will go off, and it was Nincompoop who was TPing in. He had no Ravage, so in the end I think he thought it was a bad idea. Dash here on Sexy Bamboo. Prophet's running back, he's got that Shadow Blade popped off, and actually now locks Dazzle in place. Dazzle still got that Shallow Grave if someone gets in too far over their heads. Nincompoop caught in cold feet as well as the fissure. VS once again with that swap. Shaker's already gone, and Eventual Spirit's going to chase over as well with Sexy Prophet. Yeah, Sexy Bamboo with his ultimate. Great play actually coming out from the Dazzler to try and keep his teammates alive with those Shallow Graves. There's already a double kill. They should be able to get the Spectra. Cold Feet's up. He's going to get blocked off by his own creep wave, held in place, and now will be the die to actually die down. Windrunner's the only one left alive back at the main base, and this should be a bottom racks. They got to destroy the rest of this creep wave. They've already taken out the tier 3 tower. You must take out that tower before you can actually damage on the melee barracks. A load of popping off the ultimate when there's nothing there for it to actually trigger on, but oh, there goes both our barracks. They might still think about this. Yule's actually already gone off on Windrunner. Arrow tries to trigger, but the AA ult is going to hit at least. And it's a lot of damage being done to the Windrunner. She is an intel hero. She might actually fire a bow and arrow, but that does not make her agility. And in fact, makes her an intel hero. I do enjoy it. I enjoy all the heroes way too much. Prophet's one of the ones I enjoy way too much. But Prophet's also an absolute pain in the ass. I enjoy playing him, but playing against him and actually commentating is really hard because he'll TP anywhere on the map. Luckily in Dota 2, there is this really awesome, like you see it right now, that little feature shows you where he's going to. And he's now going to steal the neutrals here on the Radiant side. That's not what he should be doing, though. When you're a barracks down, unless you are currently planning on... Or is he actually just checking Roshan? He's checking Roshan. Roshan's someone we actually haven't seen tonight. This big guy here. You kill him off, you get an Aegis Immortal. You will respawn after you die in the exact same position you died. So there goes that Prophet ultimate. Pushes out the lanes... But most annoyingly for showercasters, it can bounce on all 3 lanes of the map. Aghanim said you get yourself global range. Hello! Sentry Ward watching him. And Dazzle's just like going, what the hell? You can see me? Oh, Sentry Ward, that'll be why. And then Lich comes in and drops his own. So there's actually 2 different types of wards in the world of Dota. Same goes for Heroes of New Earth. But you actually have Sentry Wards as well as Observer Wards. So a Sentry Ward, you still see it up here, will reveal anything in the neighborhood that is actually invis. So anything around that area. As you can see now, they've got no vision around this rock, and that's because there's no observe ward, no obs ward. Without the obs ward, they don't actually have the vision. But you can use those sentry wards to kill off existing obs wards to actually do the counter damage. Meanwhile, back up here on the top lane, we should actually watch this attack going off, so off we go already with the weave. And Ravage does pop off from Nincompoop. Spin goes up in the air, so Sexy Bamboo saw that coming. It's like, screw that, man, I'm going up in the air. Wants to run back, actually with a double shield above his head. I didn't realize those 2 things actually stack. That's actually the Frost Armor there from Lich, as well as the Mech Charge, which has gone off. So that's why they've got themselves 2 shields. Is it the Mech Charge? Actually, no, there's something else. That's a different shield. AA Aldi now flies in. Even the commentators are actually still learning what all the abilities look like. Prophet manages to actually hold Mooga in place, but Mooga actually... It's almost like a bait. Arrow hits perfectly unlucky. He is now dead. Cold feeded up. VS actually with a fantastic swap. Pulls him out of the range, and there's 1 HP point he actually manages to live on. And Spectra tries to go in. Lich Ultimate bounces around, but with those Spectra Horn, has a lot of options to actually go on. There goes our Cold Feet combo again with the Yules. Prophet trying to hold Muga in place, but he came back in again with so minimal HP points. He died very, very fast, as well as the VS taking the fall with him. And this should actually be our top barracks. In the meantime, our bottom lane is pushing itself. Not in all the way just yet. It has been controlled before this battle actually started. But now with the melee barracks going down on the top lane. There goes our Shackle. Dagger as well. Fissure will be able to hold Spectre in place for the moment. AA throws in his ultimate. That's going to be enough to kill off Nincompoop, even if they don't damage him anymore. Actually, no, he won't shatter. They don't charge, actually keeping him alive. Arrow's going to fly long! Oh, right in front of Nincompoop. Luckily, he was paying attention and was able to actually fancy footwork it there. Not easy to fancy footwork a Tidehunter. He's big, he's fat, and he smells like fish. Cold Feet Fissure combination. Again with the easy stuns and then the poison as well. Stealing that armor. Straight from Spectra. And there goes the rest of our towers. So bottom ranks is gone, top ranks is gone. And the Radiant need to push in through the mid. And in fact, now we're going to have the GG call come out from the Dire. So that is going to be it for the end of our show match. They will all disconnect from the game. It's either that or they should actually end it for us so we can actually see our end stat screen. It's always a lot better. Please actually end it, guys. Disconnect, Dazzle, Windrunner gone, Nincompoop and as well as Vengeful Spirit need to go. But that was a good fight there by the Radiant side. They needed to win around this point as well. I did actually mention they had no real late game carry. Spectre was their biggest problem at this point, but they were able to initiate, they were able to actually do the damage, and really, you can't always wait for late game when it comes to the world of Dota. If you do that, then you're going to screw yourself up in the mid game. And even though there was enough damage to come out during the mid game, like you got the pushing power and ganking from Prophet, you got Windrunner as well, like there was enough in that mid game to actually hold on and give Spectre that time to get farmed up. But Spectre at the end of it actually got that Sacred Relic, but didn't complete up the Radiance. 34 minutes in, just not enough farm for him. You can actually see his CS scores, 101 for 2, 34 minutes in. It's not bad, but it's not what a big hard carry actually requires. So that's why we did see the Radiant able to actually get on top, but they also did some awesome combinations. ESL, he didn't really come into it at all. It was actually like Lich and AA. We saw that great setup on that bottom lane with the Ancient Apparition ulti and Lich Ultimate, the initiations with the arrows, and of course Shadow Priest. It was a big, big play by him in a lot of those fights to keep his team alive. They knew if they'd lost any heroes on the push, then they really couldn't keep that push going. But they were able to do so. That Shallow Grave really throwing a big spanner in the works. Spectre wouldn't have got the kills he would have actually assumed he should have actually got. Prophet was unable to actually do the same thing. We saw the TP going out from the bottom lane. Just a simple kill like that to shut down the Dazzle didn't actually happen. So a bit of a left field kind of pick, but worked out very, very nicely for the Radiant. So at the end of that, that was the end of our second Dota 2 show match. Hopefully you've enjoyed yourself, and hopefully you've learned something as well. We are keeping it basic for everybody out there. It also helps out because my knowledge of Dota is actually basic as well. That's what I do currently live with. Oh, Tadon just lost his hat. Don't worry, there'll be a new one in the next patch. We'll be back here in just a moment, guys, here for more action here on Join Dota.